Welcome to the podcast for your spiritual growth. Evolve,
align,
and embrace. I'm Alex.
And I am Sophia.
Let's start.
Welcome to the last chakra episode of our chakra series. We talk about the highest chakra, the Sahasrara Chakra today. We share our thoughts, our experiences, and practical tips and practices that you can do to connect and balance this chakra. This is really bringing everything full circle. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go.
Welcome to podcast number 12.
Sahasrara.
Crown Chakra.
Our last chakra.
Ooh, series is over with this episode. Boah.
Yeah, wow. It's been a journey.
Yeah.
And here, Sahasrara, physically the highest and energetically the highest chakra, is located at the crown of our head. And I think we talked about this in the beginning when we talked about chakras, about the Ida and Pingala and Shushumna. Did we talk about those?
Not that. Those words I don't remember. We talked about the Kundalini snake movement that is going through the chakras. But you didn't use those words.
Okay. So Ida and Pingala are the channels, the main energy channels that cross. And Shushumna is the middle, the energy channel that is in the center. And when you see those medical signs with the snake and it's like a stick in the middle, then the middle is the Shushumna and the other ones is Ida and Pingala. And on each crossing is one chakra. So the lowest chakra is the root chakra, and then it goes on, it crosses 6 times, and then the 7th, the Sahasrara chakra, is on the top, and it's Ida and Pingala don't cross at that point because it's over us. It's not included in our energy body anymore. It's already connected to the higher source. So it is part of our energy body. It doesn't belong to our energy body per se that we can work with it. That's why I think that's how you can put it. And that's why you can work with this one a little bit different. You have to work with this one a little bit different in order to be able to access it. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm super curious what you mean with working with it differently. I can, though, relate to what you're saying, because until actually today, when I read through my very smart book from Roy Martina, I always thought you can't really work with that a lot, because the 7th chakra is very well connected to characters like Jesus, Mother Teresa, Buddha, people who are highly aligned, super spiritual, and who feel like they don't even always take part of real life, but live in a, not separation, but live on a different level, not such a human level anymore. But it is true, it is very, very important for our health, that chakra. It's also part of being human, of being a spiritual being on this planet, and we are all, everybody of us, spiritual beings, and there are ways to work with it and to balance it and to keep health inside of us through working with that chakra, definitely.
Exactly what you said. There are ways to work with it, but it's not so easy to access, as you said. Like, it's part of being, I think in the middle, when we were talking about our heart chakra, when we explained how the heart chakra is the connection to our higher chakras and lower chakras. This one is the highest. It's basically that what makes us these spiritual beings. Yeah, and the lowers are more human. But so what I meant was also that the best way to access this one is by working with all the other chakras and being able to flush the energy through the other ones to be able to open the last one. It's there are a lot of similarities with the third eye chakra. And I have to be honest, I am having some difficulties sometimes to distinguish between the third eye and the crown chakra, because they have so many intertwining like physical aspects and also energy. Like they're just very similar in what you can take from it, but they're still different, and it's sometimes hard to explain, sometimes hard to understand, because it goes over our human understanding.
Yes, definitely. To work with our seventh chakra means to not work with our thoughts and with our understanding, thinking. It definitely goes above that, highly above that. It's all about trust into life and wisdom, everything that goes beyond. And I think also, since we both have the approach to give out handy tools and understand and make spirituality modern and understanding for you guys, we have been working a lot about just focusing first on the basic chakras, on just being human, on the fact that it's most important to first of all take care of your basic needs before you work on your spirituality, because that's the base for everything. And therefore, let's try to make this the most easy to access for you guys. I have to say honestly that I am also very much still on a discovery journey here with this last chakra. Oh, a disclaimer, there are thousands of chakras in our body and outside of our body. I even know people who have been working with the eighth chakra. There are even more chakras that are higher above our body and outside of our material system. Just saying that on the side.
Actually, that's really good that you're saying that, because just to understand a little bit more, like in Chinese medicine, you have the meridians, right? And each meridian is basically a small chakra, and they're all in our body. And as the ones that we talked about or are talking about are just the main ones that are in our center and that have really profound like qualities. But as you said, like those meridians, they don't only are inside of our body, but they reach out, and that's our aura, right?
Yes.
And they make this energy, I don't know, shield around us. And then they connect with other people. You know that feeling when somebody's behind you coming closer and you can feel them, and that's the auras like connecting. But good that you said that, because I think that's important to know that it's not like everything doesn't play only in the center of your being. It's everywhere in your body. What I wanted to say as well about the Sahasrara, you touched on like a lot of aspects of it already, but one thing that stood out to me a lot when I first got into like chakra work and these things was that this Sahasrara Chakra is about having faith. And as you said, like before we started recording, Alex mentioned that she used to not feel comfortable working with that one or get into it because it felt too, not spiritual, but religious almost. And is that what you meant?
Well, maybe I never really got to it because there was so much work to do in the lower chakras, first of all. Plus, I also thought it's just mostly connected to people who are not really taking, I was just connecting this chakra to Jesus. And I thought, well, I'm not Jesus. My clients are not Jesus. Let's start somewhere else here before we go up there. This is kind of where I'm coming from.
Okay. So it's not religious, but it's more like, oh, this one is saved for the people who are special, or like But
who really give themselves away with love to the humanity. Who are born to work with that. Yes.
But that sparks a thought in me right now, because it basically is saying, oh, those people who had great impact on other people's lives are different than me. And I think that's wrong, because I think they are the same as me and you, and we both of us have the same capabilities, and we do that maybe even unknowingly. Whoever is listening, you are also that person who is impacting other people's lives, even if it's not 1,000,000 or 1,000, maybe it's 1, 2, maybe it's 10, and you're not even aware of it. The way you walk through life is teaching other people around you things in their life. So whatever you do is impacting the others around you. And that's this kind of thought of, we all are so important in this life because we are all part of one big thing. I think that's what it comes back to, like having this faith that everything that happens is good, and it all leads to the ultimate being connected to the higher consciousness. It's just our decision how we walk through life. But we all have the capability to make change, or not even make change, to impact more, to impact others or impact the world, however. But we have to step into that role, I think.
Yes, I mean, they all were here on this planet to show us what we're capable of. They just came here to show us what we can do and how we can have an impact on the planet, on the world, on people around us. So it's definitely true. You have an impact on people around you. I have an impact on people around me. Even if we don't want to, we do. And we can decide how we work with that. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, it's definitely part of what Mother Teresa did or is capable of, or what Jesus did. It's just an example of you and me, what you and me can be doing. And you who's listening, you also, you're included.
Yeah, because basically, like the color of this chakra is white, but all colors. Mm-hmm. Like it's taking this light and bringing it into the world, basically. For me, that's what it means to connect to this chakra, mm-hmm. or to work with this chakra, is really being the light, mm-hmm. in the world. And with you being the light, you will spread the light, and therefore bring the light, or bring the awareness that there is light to other people who may be unbalanced in that chakra. And that could look like not having faith, thinking like, what am I doing in this world? Like, why? Thinking like, wow, this world is just so materialistic and I hate it. And
why am I even here? What am I supposed to do in this life?
Yeah, these thoughts of why do I even exist? Like,
yes.
For. And I can definitely say that I had these thoughts and have these thoughts still, mm-hmm. sometimes. And I think it's normal because we just can't understand what we're doing here. We can't understand. That's what you said. It has nothing to do with understanding.
It doesn't have to do with your brain. We will not be able to grasp it. It's too spiritual. It's higher than that. So yeah, when you feel like, I don't even know what I'm doing, why am I here, then you have a disharmony in your 7th chakra, definitely. And you feel like cut off, like you have, if you watch the video, like you have a head on your scalp, on your crown chakra, that is cutting you off from the universal energy and from your connection to the sky. Also, when it's cut off and you have it closed or disharmonic, then you are having hate inside of you. I think you don't have a lot of understanding. You don't have trust in life. You feel very not very connected to yourself. Maybe you even want to get out of your body and not be here inside this experience anymore. And when it's very well connected to the higher source and it's open and flowing and in balance, then you can get into a very blissful state. You can feel love. And you can compare that to the moment when you hold a newborn baby in your arms. That is a very blissful state. And then it's very pure. Or yeah, you just said that earlier. When we breathe in, have a pause. Breathe out, have a pause. Those pauses can give us this blissful state. In yoga, we say it's the Siddhi consciousness. Also, when you meditate, you can get into this Siddhi consciousness and this love, luck, happiness. Yeah. Also, when you are open there, you are very much able to transform thoughts into materialistic stuff very quickly. We can all do that. Like the most easiest example is I always wanted to finish school with an A level, then go off and study. That was my goal. And I knew I was going to do that. It's going to be part of my experience in life. But I had to go to school for 13 years before I did it. Or I always knew I wanted to become a mother, but I first had to be with other guys. I had to be single for a couple of years. And then I had to meet my boyfriend. And then I had to work through stuff with him. And then we were ready to get this baby into our life. And I'm still waiting 9 months until it comes. And this is also transformation and getting having the capability of putting your thoughts into a real experience in your life. And when you are very well connected in your 7th chakra, this can be much quicker. You can, you can transform everything much quicker because you're in the now. Therefore, when you're in the now and you're not into holding on to the past or the future, then you are also very well connected in this 7th chakra. To just be in the present is very, very Siddhi. It's very, very spiritual. So in order to open it up, you can check if you have a lot of holding on to past experiences or to the future. If you let go of past experiences through saying sorry and ho'oponopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, work, that we can also get into maybe in another podcast or something. Actually, I'll write that down. It's a really lovely topic, very healing. Then you can free yourself from holding on to things like that and that can keep you away from being mostly in the present or just purely in the present, in order for you to be able to manifest everything that you want to manifest into your life in the now. Yes, so it's bliss, it's being in the present, and just having a feel of flow without having to do anything. This is also very human thinking, to having to do, to get things done. We just talked about that before the podcast. So if we don't trust enough, we think we have to work and do all the time in order to get things done. But we have to find our balance, and it's very important to trust into this holding up your hands open and free to just let it come to you as well, without having to do anything, without thinking, without doing, with your hands, just letting things come.
What you talked about is basically manifestation. So it's just the past years, I've seen more and more people talk about manifestation. Mm-hmm. Manifestation is, as you said, like turning thoughts or wants or not one, maybe once also into reality, into matter. One misconception though is that you just have to connect to that thought and then it's going to manifest. That's not how it works. It's going into taking action with a belief and with faith and with trust. That's what will make it happen, right? Rather than just thinking about something and being, it has to manifest, or just taking action and running and thinking, I need to do this and this and this and this and this and this, but not actually believing in that you will reach your goal or that you will get where you want to be. Plus, and it's so hard, but you have to be detached from the outcome in order to be, and it is so like, it just often in our mind, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how should I work towards something, believe in something, and be detached from the outcome while being super present in the now? How does that even work? What you said about like, it's so important to be in the now. I just want to say one thing, because I know some people, and I can count myself in sometimes, where I'm like, I'm just gonna leave everything. I just want to be in the now right now. and kind of like throwing everything away, and throwing them away is not, or indulging into pleasures in order to feel alive or feel present is not what is meant here. It's being present also with the pain. It's being present with emotions that come up, with thoughts that come up, being able to accept them, to see them, to acknowledge them, and then to let them go with love. It's not about like throwing or like just taking yourself out of your life in order to be able to be present, but about to be able to be present and to be blissful and content in this moment with all of its circumstances. I can just say from experience that mostly I have uncomfortable circumstances around me or in my life, but I choose not to let the discomfort come into me. It happens, but like I choose to stay on the bright side. And that's so funny because we're just talking about light and it's really, I'm staying on the bright side. Life is not always as I wish it would be, but I have to take what is there and see it for what it is and what I can take from it.
Yes, being in the blissful, holy present means to be with what is, or to even love what is. That's even crazier higher. So as long as you think, well, my circumstances are usually very challenging or even difficult or even shitty, then that is challenging you to decide whether you are having an inner, no, I don't like that attitude towards it. And as long as you have that and you're not in acceptance with what is, then you're suffering and you're being against your circumstances, and it's very difficult to get into the state of being present with it. When we are trusting that there is somehow a reason why those circumstances are the way they are, and when we're trusting because we are connected well with our higher consciousness, in our 7th chakra, that things are happening because they are happening for us. And we came here in order to grow. So everything that is here for us is a part of growing and is a part of growing into the best part and to the best version of us. Then we can start to accept what is and be with what is.
One thing also about this is that, as I said before, like, it doesn't mean that emotions or that we should push them away, but when emotions come up that are uncomfortable, that we let them come, because that's just a human expression of our frustration, and which is normal. Like, it's not bad that we are frustrated with the situation, or that we feel sad, or that we don't want something to hurt. We're human. That's gonna happen. Gandhi, I'm sure, cried too. Like, he had to. He's human. He was human.
Embracing emotions, embracing the moments, embracing all the weirdness that's going on is the most healing thing, if you ask me, in order to be a human being that is as healthy and balanced as you can be. I wanted to say something about the manifestation as well, because you said it's about believing and doing and the outcome and the joy in the now. So yes, it's true. I just wanted to just point it out again, if it's okay, that it's amazing to have an outcome somewhere, like a vision that we just talked about in the last podcast, that is motivating us. And that the outcome and the vision is there to motivate us. It doesn't have to turn out that way. It's there to give us drive and inspiration. So once we have that, and then we also have the thoughts, we think about it with our brain, with our thoughts, on that level of thoughts, the human level, and the level that is also limited. Then we can do things. So with our hands, with our body, we can get into action and work towards those visions and outcomes. So first of all, belief. Second of all, we can get things done and do things. But what we also now connect while talking about the seventh chakra is that we really believe in it, that there is something inside of us that is like, maybe you can call it a religion, that we believe in, that it's possible, that it's waiting out there for us, that we are worthy of it to come into our life, that we believe in our birthright of getting there, of feeling joy, of being successful, or of just experiencing the things our heart admires to experience. And the other thing that is connecting us, that is connected to the seventh chakra, that has to do with manifestation, is being in the moment. And that is being in the moment on the way towards that outcome. And your outcome is giving you inspiration. Thoughts are giving you ideas what to do. Your body is giving you actions, or is doing the actions. Your belief is giving you trust that it's waiting there out there for you. But the joy is the real stuff, because everybody says the path, the way there is life. It's not getting there. You will never get there somehow, because once you get to a point, usually as humans, we just want to get further and further and grow more and find something else we now want to pursue. But to make sure that on a daily basis you find joy in the present is the best thing ever. Yeah, to live joyfully, to be in a spiritual, holy place in the now, and to also get to your outcome, your vision, without hustle, but with joy. So, for example, right now, I mean, Sophia and I, we want to inspire and help and be there for a lot of other women and people who would love to, for you, work on health and a really successful business as a mom. For me, to find your right thing, to just really find your inner compass and do what is meant for you to do, and let go of thoughts what has to be done, but really trust yourself more. So these are our visions, and on the way there we're doing this podcast. And I have to say, for myself, every time we're recording that podcast and I'm talking to you, connecting to you and to the listeners, talking about what we are talking about, like today, this chakra 7, I feel like I'm in the now. I cannot think about anything else. So I'm very well connected to this very moment. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm just as present as I can be. And that is maybe an example of doing stuff on a regular basis in order to get to your goal that is pulling you in the now.
Yeah, totally. Having, as you said, like having all these things, they all have a meaning, or they have all a place in our life, having a goal and what you just talked about. But as you said, like being unattached of what's going to be, even if that doesn't happen, that you know that you're worthy of happiness, of love, of bliss, of all of these things, and live that in the now. And actually, like before I started coaching on business, I was doing life coaching, and I was teaching on the yogic guidelines. And the first yogic guideline is ahimsa, and it's living in love, basically. And it's not only living with others in love, but with yourself, and loving your life, basically. Like it's enjoying every moment of life and seeing the beauty in life. And it's translated as compassion and love, but it's also like really connecting with yourself and you know, filling your life with things that bring you joy. And the first thing I would tell my clients to do, is to find things that they either used to do and love to do, or you know, things they always wanted to do, always had in their mind, oh, I would love to try that, but never did. So they would, even if that thing they thought they might like wasn't the thing they actually liked, it's about stepping into life with excitement and with like love of living and trying things, and just having joy in your life by doing the things that bring you joy. That's I feel like connecting to people that bring you joy, right? Reconnecting that, as me as well. Like I feel so much joy talking to you, because we connect on a special in a special way. And that opens me up to the universe, because I can be present, and I can not indulge, but really embrace this moment. And when I embrace this moment, I'm fully myself, and I bring the best into this world because I feel my best, and therefore I bring light, and I'm connected to my Sahasrara Chakra, to the universe, to whatever you may call it, the higher consciousness. And that's the ultimate goal of all of us, right? It's just actually to be happy, to have meaning in our life, to be here, experience life fully with all that it brings us.
Yeah. Every time I'm teaching yoga, sometimes I sit there when everybody's in the very last asana, the Shavasana, and just lay and are silent and are somewhere else, maybe even sleeping or just really relaxed. I sometimes think, wow, it's a special atmosphere here right now. Did I create that? And every time I ask myself that, I answer no. Something created that through me and through the people who are in the room. There is something else in the room than just me and the people. And I feel like through being in the now and through bliss and joy and just doing without thinking, going beyond your thoughts, it just comes down, from up, down, through us, into the present, into our experiences, into the room. That can not only happen in a yoga class, that can happen in a podcast, that can happen while you play music, while you have a conversation with a person and you have really amazing ideas all of a sudden, or I don't know, in any situation at work or somewhere else.
One thing I wanted to touch on was also that there is actually also a way you can be too open in that chakra.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're like longing you're longing for a spiritual path, and you're like so eager to get all the spiritual teachings, and you do all the spiritual practices, but you actually don't really understand, like not understand, but can't actually connect to it, but you're doing everything. Like it's this, you want this wider understanding. You maybe fast, like you take spiritual practices to an extreme, meaning like you fast for so many days that your body is almost dying, basically, because it needs water or food, and you just do it because you want to connect to the higher consciousness. And you know, you're like really, you're so eager to be a spiritual being that you're not.
Yes, totally. When you are too open up there and you're not balanced, then you don't take care of your basic needs of your first chakras first. You lose control, or you don't take care of that anymore. You don't focus on it anymore. You're only up there with your energy. I feel like that's a little bit like being in an asceticism, askese. I think about people who are just living all by themselves in a Höhle, somewhere in the mountains, and by themselves. And they don't really take part in life anymore. They don't really get into action anymore. They don't feed their bodies really well anymore. They just fast for days and meditate and are somewhere in trance. And yeah, I mean, there are people who can do that really well, but there are also people who can get lost in it and who are not well enough connected to their physical self, first of all, to go up there energetically and with their focus. And I said that in the last podcast already. It's super important to really, really be present and living in your first chakras before you really want to connect up there to the higher dimensions. Because otherwise you can lose ground, you can not have a stable standing anymore and lose your grounding, your earth connection.
Yeah, if we can't be taking proper care, not because we think we have to take care of our physical, but we want to take care of our physical body and of our mind. And stuff. And I'm thinking also of, without judgment, of drug addicts who use drugs that connect them to something that they feel like they can't have just by living, or
Yes, to hallucination or spiritual situations.
awakenings, or there are some drugs that are being used in spiritual practices, in, I think, ayahuasca, and I'm not sure, I'm not really into those things, like I don't know too much about it, but I know that there are some drugs that are used to connect to our higher realms that we wouldn't be able to connect otherwise, or it would be really, really hard to get there. I'm not saying that, if you choose to do so, that's up to you, but doing that on a regular basis in order to feel that, to come to a blissful state, that's also a sign that you are imbalanced. I like the word that you said, that there's a disharmony in your 7th chakra, because you need something in order to get there. And the whole point with this chakra is that you don't need anything. No successes, no material, no relationships, no nothing, in order to be blissful, in order to be content, in order to be happy. I don't like the word happy, because people think if they're happy, they're always happy, but happy actually means just being content with the moment that you're in.
We also talked about the pineal gland last time, but the pineal gland, because it's also connected to the 7th chakra. Sophia already said that the third eye chakra, the 6th, and the 7th chakra, the crown chakra, are a little bit intertwined in their meaning and their what we can do with it. They're both highly spiritual, and so therefore I just wanted to add that the pineal gland, on a medical level, sending out hormones that people would use in drugs in order to get hallucination and trance like states of mind, so the hormones are that the pineal gland is sending out melatonin, which is taking care of your sleeping rhythm, and that's very important for your focus, for your clarity in your mind, which is a little bit more connected to the third eye chakra, I would say. Then also it's sending out the hormone, the luck, bliss hormone. Is it called serotonin? Serotonin. And when you're in rhythm, when you're in the now, you can feel that, you can have it sent out. So when your pineal gland is not very balanced, or maybe even closed up, not very well used, it can be that you feel off, and it can have an effect on how you feel, basically, on how you feel generally throughout the day. And the third hormone that the pineal gland is sending out is DMT. It's a really complicated word when I say it out loud. It's dimethyltryptamine. And that's the hormone that people would try to use in drugs, because it can help you to connect to higher dimensions, to other dimensions, to new thoughts that are maybe more than thoughts, to a higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to add that, so just you heard about it, you can read more into it. Yeah, because the medical level is also part of every single chakra. So what you can do to balance your 7th chakra is using mantras, or even using acupuncture for yourself. And the mantras you can use are: I am manifesting, I am, or I know. So this is something you can use with ending the sentence, like I'm manifesting my dream family. I'm manifesting my blissful life, or whatever you want to manifest. I know it's going to work. I trust and I know that there is more, something like that. Like I'm completely connected to the higher and to the higher dimensions and the love, and I'm very well connected to all dimensions of being and in harmony with it. You can just keep on saying those words to yourself. We can also, if you like, to put that in the show notes, so you can just read it and write it down for yourself more easily. Through mantra, you can say that you connect yourself through God, through the higher dimensions, to unconditional love and being in balance with it. And if you keep on saying that, it will automatically do something with that chakra, 100%. Also, I read, you can, when you say that, press a point in your body, and what you can do is press it's called the hand lever vessel. The hand lever vessel. The hand lever vessel has a lot of different points. You can either press this point up here, so where the chakra actually is, on the top of your head, or in the back of your head. This is kind of, I think, on the same level like your eyes and your pineal gland. And you can just press it and repeat the mantra that says that you trust into God, the higher dimensions, and into more, and into unconditional love. You can also find the hand lever vessel here under your nose, or down here where you see this bone in the back where your neck starts. Try out what you want to try out and trust into the process. And yeah, open up your seventh chakra and bring it back into harmony. If you feel like while listening to us, you are not yet.
And one thing that I do, getting ready for meditation, sitting down, closing my eyes. And then I talked last time about drishti, about like having that focus point in between my eyes, so my third eye, which I almost do in every meditation session. I focus on that, and it's so funny, like in the beginning, often when I start meditating, I see a black dot inside with closed eyes, right? And I start focusing. And then I just imagine, really, as we said, like light coming from above me through into my third chakra. I imagine opening up that chakra as a flower. And I do that actually often. I start by opening up from my lowest chakra, opening up and connecting to each chakra, opening, like imagining a flower there at that point of where the chakra is, and it opening up. And then I come to the highest chakra and I open it up, and through that opening I allow the light from above to come into my being and flow through me. And I just imagine that light coming through me and through me. And when I do that, the black dot turns bright light.
Wow.
And so that's for me also, when I make decisions or something like that, I try to connect to also the colors that I see, and it's mostly only black or white. Yeah, so it's letting the light in, visualizing the light in. Amazing. Is what I like to do, and it just feels really, really peaceful and good, because I'm just kind of connected and I feel kind of hovering in the air but still grounded, because again, like I connected to all of the other chakras. And then I let the light in order to let it flow through. So that's the one that I wanted to share as well.
Cool. Yeah, it's true. Visualization, acupuncture, mantras, there's so many ways to open and connect or to harmonize your chakra. I always say in yoga class, when you sit and you feel your body weight, first of all, always connecting to earth, feel your body weight on the ground, sinking into the ground, but also you feel how your spine is like pearls, just growing up naturally, up into the sky. You can also feel how you're, without carrying and holding the weight, naturally your head is being pulled up to the sky naturally, to connect to that feeling of I have a natural connection to earth, but also to the sky. Is also very nice, maybe more physical. It's also visualization, but also can get more physical in order, for a connection to the seventh chakra.
Yeah, you just remembered me. I was holding on the whole time and didn't realize, and I was just like,
You don't have to do anything. You just connected straight up to the higher universe, to the wider universe. Yeah, automatically.
If you feel like that you don't have faith or that you don't understand this concept, I would love, or we both would love to talk to you. There's also a meditation that I share frequently with my clients and share with others on IG. And I've had amazing feedback of connecting to your the different layers of your being, which then ultimately, like the last layer is basically connecting you to that light again. Mm-hmm. And that's a very easy way and quick way to get to that level where you understand what we mean by a blissful state. So if you're interested to listen to that or get that meditation, let us know and we'll send it to you.
I would love to send out a little bit of you can now tell us what else you want to listen to in the upcoming podcasts. Of course, Sophie and I, we have a lot of ideas and a lot of other very interesting topics to talk about here in Evolve, Align, and Embrace. But if there's anything you want to learn more about, you want to have our opinion and our thoughts on, definitely contact us, send us ideas or requests, and we'll take it into account and make sure we're here for you with what you guys need to know and to what you guys want to learn about.
Let us know what you are interested in. We would love to talk about that and help you out. Everyone that's listening, connect to the light, spread the light, and
you are the light. It's the truth. It's the one truth. Yeah, we just have to believe in it.
Yeah.
We are the light. Thank you so much for spending time with us listening to the 12th episode, our last chakra episode. And like we said, just contact us if you have any requests and if you have any topic in mind that you would love us to share with you guys. And if you have any questions or anything else, contact us at any time. We are very looking forward to hearing from you. Lots of love. Bye-bye.